Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to medical coding and anatomy, where we will be discussing a bit about sensory receptors and its types and classification. Okay, so this is very broad topic and there are so many things that we should know regarding the sensory receptors, its type and classification. So what I'll do in this session, I'll firstly explain you what are sensory receptors, how it works and what are the advantages of it. Okay, and later on I will explain you the classification, because classification is very broad. So to make the things easier for you, I will break it down into multiple sessions so that you can easily understand what are the types and classification of sensory receptor. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on what are sensory receptors and its types and classification. But prior to that, you should know other important things, what are sensory system and the basic thing that we have already covered. And for that you can also refer the Texture Myth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box for all of you. There you will find thousands of sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content. And in case if you have any queries or questions related to that, feel free to reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions there. Okay. Alright. So let's get started and see what are sensory receptor and its classification. So if someone asks you in the interview what is sensory receptor, so you can simply answer in a way that a sensory receptor is a specialized structure. Okay. It is a specialized structure that detects a specific type of stimulus from the external environment or internal body. Okay, so it's a specialized structure that detects the specific type of stimulus from both external environment or internal environment and convert it into an electrical nerve impulse that can be transmitted to the brain for processing and interpretation. Okay, so what is the major role of sensory receptor? To detect. It's a specialized structure that detects the specific type of stimulus from the external or internal body and then convert it into electrical nerve impulse, which later transmitted to the brain for processing and interpretation. Okay, so in simple word you can say that sensory receptors are the starting point of every sensory experience in the body. They are like sensors of the body alarm system. Okay, each one designed to detect one specific type of change and immediately report it to brain. Okay, it is not like there are multiple receptors for specific type. Each receptor has its own type which it will detect and report. Okay, so we can conclude sensory receptor, a specialized structure that detects a specific stimulus and converts it into nerve impulse through the process of transduction. This is very important term from interview perspective. They might ask you like what is transduction. Okay, so it's nothing but a primary and fundamental job of every sensory receptor. Okay, doesn't matter which type we are talking about, every receptor has to do this one job, one fundamental job, that is transduction. Now let's understand what is transduction. So transduction means converting one form of energy into another. Okay, converting one form of energy into another, specifically converting a stimulus into an electric nerve impulse that the nervous system can transmit and the brain can understand. Okay, so what is transduction? It is nothing but a process of converting one form of energy into another. Especially in case of sensory receptor, it converts stimulus into electrical nerve impulse that nervous system can transmit and brain can understand. Okay, so I think this is clear what is sensory receptor and also its fundamental job or functionality. Now we will talk bit about the different type of receptors that converts different type of energy. As I mentioned, like every receptor has its own role. Okay, so majorly there are like receptors divided into these categories: photoreceptor, mechanoreceptor, thermoreceptor, noise receptor, knock receptor, and chemoreceptor. Okay, so if we look at the energy and its conversion, so photoreceptor convert light energy into electrical nerve impulse. Mechanoreceptor convert mechanical energy like touch and pressure into electrical nerve impulse. Thermoreceptor convert heat energy into electrical nerve impulse. Noise receptor like damaging stimuli, chemical, mechanical, thermal into electrical nerve impulse. Then we have chemoreceptor, which is chemical energy, which convert chemical energy into electrical nerve impulse. Okay, so no matter what the stimulus is, the receptor always convert it into same thing, that is electrical nerve impulse. Okay, at the end you will get the output only electrical nerve impulse. Then later when this is transmitted to the brain interprets that impulse based on which nerve it came from and how strong the signal is. Okay, and after that it will decide what to respond. Okay, now we will talk a bit about the specificity of sensory receptor. What is specificity? So each sensory receptor responds to only one specific type of stimulus. This is called law of specific nerve energies. Okay, and it is also again a very important question for interview. What are the law of specific nerve energy? So it's quite simple. This means a receptor designed for light will only respond to the light. Okay, because we have dedicated receptor. So if a receptor is designed only for the light purpose, it will respond to only light. A receptor designed for cold will only respond to cold. Similarly, a receptor designed for pain will only respond to the pain, to tissue damage, not to the light, not to the smell. So we can say this specificity ensures that the brain receives accurate and specific information about exactly what type of stimulus is occurring. Okay, so till here we just discussed what is sensory receptor, its primary and fundamental job, different type of receptors and its convertible energies, and also we talked about the specificity of sensory receptor. Now we will see the classification of sensory receptor, because it is broadly categorized into four parts. One is by the type of stimulus, second is by their location in the body, third is by their structural complexity, and fourth is by their rate of adaptation. Okay, so these are the four types of sensory receptor. But as I mentioned earlier also, these are very big topic, because each type has its own subtype, then its subtypes has its own subtypes, right? So likewise we have big hierarchy. So to make the things easier for you, what I'll do, I'll break down everything into multiple session. So firstly we will be talking about the type of stimulus they detect. Okay, so according to by the type of stimulus they detect, we have multiple types, right? There are total 6 types. So by the type of, so we are just starting with the first category, okay, which include by the type of stimulus detected. Type 1, photoreceptor, its subtype is rods and cones. Then we have mechanoreceptors. It has 3 group: cutaneous mechanoreceptors, proprioceptors, mechanoreceptors of the inner ear. Okay. Then we have thermoreceptor, which has cold receptor, warm receptor. Then we have noise receptor, which has mechanical noise receptor, thermal, and polymodal noise receptor. After that we have chemoreceptor, which include 2 category. Category A for spatial sense chemoreceptors and category B for internal chemoreceptor. And at the end we have type 6, which is baroreceptors. So these are the all types of receptors that comes under by the type of stimulus detected. Okay, so one by one from next session we will talk about these individual types in detail, because this is a very broad and major topic and important also. Okay, so meanwhile you can do the practice, and for everyone, like I'm also sharing one question, you have to just answer this question in a very short way. Okay, and today's question is what is efferent. But before that, one more thing, like memory tip. Yes, because we have learned so many things today. So how you will remember it? So for the 6th type of receptor by stimulus, what you can do, you can learn it with one word, that is pump CB. Pump CB means photoreceptor, you feel the pain, that is noise receptor, mechanoreceptor, proprioceptors, chemoreceptors, and baroreceptors. That includes thermoreceptor and osmoreceptors. Okay. Now we will talk about that question. So question is, what is afferent and what is efferent? We have discussed this already in detail, so I'm sure you already know the answer of this question. But in case if you have any confusion, you can simply reach out to last session. There we have discussed it in detail. So from there you can learn it and then you can share your knowledge. Okay. But please do share your answers in the comment section, because through it only I will get the notification that you guys are learning from these series, and according to the number of comments and answers, I will release more sessions on medical coding and anatomy. Okay. And it will also help you to recall the topic in timely manner. Like if something you are recalling on the regular basis, it will give you the idea how things works, and at the time of interviews it will really help you. Okay. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Share Myth.